Well, Ruby, what is you doing?
Hey, wait, sorry, what are we sorry.
You
What are
know
we all
what?
supposed to
Fuck
be
it. This
doing?
is all gonna be part of it because what we want everybody to motherfucking do is smoke weed and watch Motherhood Sex
Sex
Marijuana.
marijuana. Because
Yes.
we always in the building.
We always in the motherfucking building. Season 7, setting legendary trends. We gonna be coming with some new shit and be in the building for all of it every Sunday on time. Cool.
I know I'm coming. They know I'm coming. I know they gonna be there. And they know I'm gonna do the best job I can possibly. 60.
Marijuana. Because
Yes.
we always in the building.
We Yes, indeed. Kai Storm in the building. Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the building. And Ruby will soon be in the building. But of course, today we have Max Moyer of um Lord. Oh, Max Wake and Bake Tours. It's been a long time since we've been trying to have this interview. So yes, let's get it going. Guys, make sure stop whatever the hell you rolling on the goddamn floor. Stop rolling that shit. Excuse me, people. You gotta yell at the kids every now and then. Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. Okay. Season 7 in the building, setting legendary trends, fucking helicopters or whatever the fuck. New York City don't know how to be motherfucking quiet. Let's get this shit on and let's get this popping. Okay. I don't know where the fuck Ruby at, but I want to get this done. So we're gonna get started. She should be on her motherfucking way, and if she not, then you already know I'm gonna handle my business. Let's go. Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the motherfucking building. Yeah. Let's picture this. All right.
Hey,
Hey, Max, how you doing?
what's going on, Kai? How are you?
I'm good. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Glad to have you finally on the Motherhood Sex Marijuana podcast. Ruby should be on her way. You know what I mean, 9 times out of 10, the reason why she late is because she got a young baby, so she got some situations she gotta handle. But of course, I'm not gonna keep you waiting. Shit, we gonna get this shit started and get it going. You feel me? Until she get here. You know
All
what
right,
I mean? But
all right.
yes. So Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the motherfucking building, season 7, setting legendary trends. And on this episode, we got Max. First of all, I'm gonna just because I want you to tell me how to say your last name because I've been saying Moyer, but
Yes, yeah,
in my
perfect.
head I'm thinking maybe. Oh, that's
No,
correct. Well,
that's perfect.
shit.
Yeah, no, most people when if I go to the doctor's office or they're calling me up for an appointment, the unfortunate reality in New York, I Googled it during the pandemic. So the majority of the people with my last name all live in Europe, because my family's from Spain.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but I was born and raised here in New York. So with that being said, I Googled it and I haven't met all these other people, but there's only 30 people in all of New York with the same last name as me, but I haven't met the other 30 Moyers or 29
Well,
Moyers.
well, shit, you know what I'm saying? As long as I said your name right, that's correct. And for you to be lucky enough to, first of all, for you to be diligent enough to Google your last name to see how many motherfuckers in New York got your last name, that's, you know what I mean? In case, somebody steal your identity, you know who to fuck with. But what I'm saying is, We're here with Max Moyer, and Ruby Doll is in the building. What's good, girl?
What is up? What's up, Max?
Hey, Ruby, how are you? Nice to finally meet.
Pardon me. I'm just trying to get my life
Ruby's
together.
snacky.
Okay, I get it.
It is so.
Ruby snacky. Ruby snacky.
What's that? I'm so sorry.
I said Ruby snacky.
I'm just trying to do all these things at once, and I thought I'd have more of an opportunity to listen in. And
Okay.
I just want to say,
no.
I just want to say thank you so much, Max, for being here, and thank you for that bomb ass avocado cake.
Oh, you're
Right.
welcome. Yes, yeah, chocolate chip avocado cake.
Amazing.
Thank you. That took me 10 years to perfect.
Really?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
because I was constantly playing with it just to make it perfect. It was just a hobby of mine. I'm a gourmet chef as a hobby. From 2004 to 2008, I was single, and that was by choice because I was in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and we decided to part ways where she moved out to the West Coast and I decided to stay here in New York. And with that being said, I was running a business all by myself. I had a pet dog with me, and then I was living, in a nice apartment by myself. And
Right.
I didn't want to dedicate my time or share my time with somebody that didn't reciprocate the same way, that wasn't serious. So it was by choice. So all I would do during that time from 2004 to 2008 was when I came home, I would literally watch cooking shows all the time. Whenever I had to take the subway to go somewhere, I had a subscription for 5 years to Bon Appetit magazine. I was always reading this cooking magazine, just looking through, ripping out pages, trying out recipes. That's what I did to just pass the time, keep myself occupied, because during that time I was going out a lot because I lived alone. So I would go out a lot, spend money on restaurants and stuff. And there were times where I would spend, a considerable amount of money at some restaurant, and the food wasn't even that good. And I would
child, I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
child.
And I would get
relatable.
I would get upset. So I was like, wow, what am I doing wrong? And I would look at the reviews, and I would swear some of those reviews were not legitimate because they would hype it up on Yelp, and then you'd go there. And it's like, oh my God, no. So I got so frustrated and disappointed. I said, you know what? I got to make the foods I like for myself the way I like the way I like it.
That's
so
right.
I just started doing that and saving a lot more money too. But the bad thing is because I was making stuff for one, a lot of these recipes are like 4 people, 6 people, and no recipes for one person in any of these cookbooks or anything.
Well, of course not. No, definitely not. But hold on though. Let's, because of course, me and Ruby always start off the show by saying the one thing I already said together. So let's just start off by saying, okay, so Ruby, motherhood, sex, marijuana in the
motherfucking building with Max Moyer. What's up?
And see, even she said it right. That's what's up. Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are priceless.
Well, you are.
And we also got to let people know that Max Moyer does Max Wake and Bake tours. That's one of the main reasons why he's here. But based on what we've read and everything that you sent us, you've been kind of dabbling into the entertainment business, back and forth for a long time.
You all up in there.
Yeah, since 1992. Back in 1992, I started doing this TV show. It was on public access. It was called Moonlighting with Max. And it was just something to see if I could actually do it. It was mostly pushing myself to see what doors I can kind of get through. And I started writing up proposals and sending them back in the 90s when hip hop was emerging and it was like at its pinnacle, in the early 90s. I started reaching out to all these different labels and saying, hey, I wouldn't mind sitting down with this recording artist, with that. And every single one of them was really receptive and super kind. And I'm a nobody starting out from nothing, literally spending my whole paycheck every single week because I didn't know how to edit. I didn't own a camera. I didn't know what it took to do camera lighting, but I knew what I wanted. So I'd have to hire freelance camera guys, freelance editors. So every single week, my whole paycheck would just go towards the show because I was passionate about it. So that was the nice thing, but I couldn't sustain it. It wasn't sustainable because everything was coming out of my pocket. So I didn't get any sponsorship or anything like that. And to be honest, I was kind of afraid or intimidated because I was getting so many A-list people, to do the show. I was getting people like Run DMC. I was getting the Beat Nuts. I was getting, Onyx, MC Light,
Right.
like all LL Cool J. I was getting all these big A-listers to do my show, and I'm just nobody, from Queens.
You're Max
getting all...
Moyer. What the hell are you talking about? And now you're talking to Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana. Dang, who would have thought?
Thank you. So
indeed.
Yeah. So that but that's what I started doing just to see how far I could get. So it opened up a lot of doors for me, which was really nice. But there came a point where I had to stop because literally all my money, I mean, I'm not kidding, I was eating back then Lipton chicken noodle soup, ramen.
No, I get it. Trust and believe, we get it, because even, as moms, running our business, of Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana, let's be real. It's not like, we're making a total profit, that type of profit where we could just, just do this. Just do this for the rest of our lives. Like, you know what I mean? It's definitely, you definitely got to pay the cost, in order to make certain things come true. But at the same time, like you said, you didn't really have any sponsors. And was it the reason why you didn't have any sponsors? Is it because you wasn't looking for sponsors, or nobody was just trying to check you?
I don't think anybody was checking me. No, there were a lot of artists, which I was very surprised towards the end. I got really popular, and there were a lot of people directly calling me, which I was like so starstruck by the people who were calling me, because it wasn't their manager or their agent. It was them directly picking up the phone, because I was embarrassed at the fact I couldn't keep the show going. I didn't know how to tell people, listen, man, I was working this job called slamming phones, which means you go to businesses that have public phones in their business. Let's say it's a hair salon, and they have a public phone back in the hair salon. So I would ask them, hey, are you guys getting money from the public phone? And they were like, no, the city owns that. And I was like, well, I can make sure you get money, because there was this company that would take over that public phone and give them a percent of the money that was collected. So I started doing that. And there were some weeks, depending on how many I got that month, that week, I would make 500 one week. The next week, I'd make maybe 300. It all depends. So that's how I was able to do it, because I would do that Monday through Friday. And then whenever someone had some kind of album release party or movie premiere or something to that effect, something to promote, then I would just schedule with these freelance editors and freelance camera people. And I would get different camera people, from film schools, stuff like that, SVA, NYU, whoever taught film, and Columbia University film students. I would just hire film students, paid them like $200-300 a day, but that was my paycheck. They ate what I wasn't eating. I was having a slice of pizza that night for dinner. That was my dinner, one slice of pizza for like $1. Because all my money went to those guys. So I started getting real popular then, but then I was embarrassed. That was the thing. I knew I could have probably drum up a proposal the same way I did proposals to encourage the people behind these people, to allow them to do business with me. I just didn't think anybody would be receptive. And that was my own insecurities. And looking back, I think that if I would have been open with people and told them, hey, man, I'm broke, I need some serious help, I'm trying to pay my rent and all that stuff, I definitely feel now. But back then, I didn't have the confidence, because there were people in the beginning that were kind of very warm to me. But then there were some points where, and that's entertainment. One day people are very warm to you. The next day, you have no idea what's going on in their lives. They're
Indeed.
ice cold to you. It was crazy. So,
Wow.
you know, never the
Indeed.
artist. It was the people behind the artist. No, I never had any discrepancy with the artist or anything. It was always the people behind the artist when I was trying to network with them, because that's how it is back then. You didn't really
Of
communicate
course. It,
with
it
the artist.
probably is not even just still back then. It's probably still now. You know what I mean? To get to an artist, you know, of a certain stature, you got to go through the middlemen, and the middlemen, you know, they want their ass kicks or other parts. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, the only ones who were like, "Yo, man, don't call this person up. Call me directly." The Beat Nuts, Fat Joe, those guys,
Mm,
hilarious. Yeah. So no, I love that about them. That, you know, we would just have each other's personal numbers and keep in touch like that. So that was actually cool. But no, the majority of the artists you had to deal with the people behind them, you know, or in front of them, I should say, you know, in order to communicate, you know.
You know what, Max?
right.
When I look at you and I see a very just kind person. You just seem so kind-hearted. And it's usually these kind-hearted motherfuckers that have gone through some shit. And so can you think of an example where you literally had to pull yourself up out of a really difficult situation, and kind of like what was like the main thing that helped you in that point?
Well, when I had to stop the show, the partner I was with at the time, her business was really doing well. So she gave me an incentive to join her business so we could just pay our bills. That was the thing. I mean, I was like, at the time when I was doing the show, I think I was like 6 months behind in my rent. And it wasn't a rent stabilized. So I was going to court. And, you know, the nice thing is the judge was on my side and everything. But during that time, I didn't have the courage to open up to people and let them know what was going on in my life, because I was literally putting every single dime that I had into the show. But the other thing that kind of steered me away from the show was she didn't believe in me. She helped, but she didn't have the courage. Well, not courage, but the faith, you know. And I understood that she was more of a, I don't know, a pessimist than an optimist. That's the best way to describe it. Skeptical. She didn't see the value in me doing any of that. She thought I was wasting my time. And there were times where people would call me up in the middle of the night. Oh, and it was just crazy. Like, I would get celebrities. That was the weird thing. There were some nights I would get like these really big celebrities I was trying to network with or trying to just reach out to and try to set something up. They would call me up drunk, 3 o'clock in the morning. I am not kidding you. So I'd be sleeping, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, and back in like 93, I had no cell phone. You know, there were cell phones. I had no damn cell phone. I had a home phone, you know, with the damn answering machine. So next I'd get this artist calling me up. Yo, man, if you want to interview me and stuff like that, you got to come out now to this club, and, you know, you and I got to meet. And I'm like, what? You know, I'm in my pajamas, man, and you know, I'm like, oh, but
and I believe that shit because how New York City run. First of all, I mean, shit, I ain't been to a club in a long, long time. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I remember, you know, back in the day when I did hit the clubs. Oh yes, clubs was open till 7 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So I could, you know, and depending on certain clubs, you know what I'm saying. I don't know, you know, like, I don't know if you remember the tunnel and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the tunnel shit.
87. I can
2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So, and all the rap stars went to the tunnel. Like, all the rap stars went to the tunnel.
Yes. I remember one time hanging out with Latifah and Light one night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that
I remember.
So dope.
I remember who else was really, I forget what other I can't think of what other rapper I would bump into back in like 87 when like 86, 87, when clubs were really big. That's when, well, for New Yorkers, I don't know if you guys were in New York at that time in 86 and 87.
I was definitely not.
Ruby has never lived in New York City.
No.
I definitely I definitely went to it, maybe one and two of them, because at that time when, you know what I'm saying, that was when rap started getting big. You know, my mother was one of those people that she you know, she say be home by curfew now. Know
Yeah.
what I mean? You
Well, my
tried to,
way too.
you
My
know,
mom
at
was
least if you was gonna be late for curfew, you wasn't gonna be late past half an hour. You feel me? Or if that's the case, you was just gonna stay out all night and just, you know, face whatever beat down you was gonna get in the morning, whatever, however it went. But so I
It
didn't
was
get to
worth
go
it
to all of the
sometimes, I'm
clubs.
sure.
But best believe I heard about all of them. And Ruby, I can tell you this, that back in the day, like even I mean even now on a, because New York City is what it is, you know what I'm saying, they, you know, celebrities walk down streets, they'll drive down streets and you can see them in their car and be like, what the fuck, that's such and such, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
So being in a club, and like I said, back in them days there was certain rap clubs that's what it was. It was just that was the crowd, and
Oh
it
my
could be
gosh,
anywhere between
I would
Thursday
have
night and Sunday
died.
night. And Sunday night was the tunnel night. That's the main night I used to go on Sunday night. And baby, you don't know how hard it is to go to the club, party till 4 in the morning, and still get to work by 7. I'm just saying, I ain't know
Oh, I
how I did it, but
remember
I used to do that shit. Oh, I used to
yeah.
do that
our
shit.
clubs
Yes,
close at
indeed.
2 out here. So
Oh,
it's a little different.
Yes. She lives in Portland.
oh,
From
She lives in Portland.
California.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
So
And
it's
then
not the
Matt,
same. It's the same.
no, not at all. Max, I wanted to definitely ask your advice. Okay, so you were you were mentioning a time of solitude, right? And
mhm.
now you are married to a gorgeous being, a beautiful woman, and
Yes, we've
right,
seen her. I was like, okay,
I'm
okay,
like, get it,
all
Max,
right,
get it.
all right, all
Yeah.
right.
And so no, but for real, like prior to that, right? Because I told myself that in order for me to get into a relationship now, this person has to be worth me giving up my solitude.
Yup.
So what
That
was it? Yeah, what was it about you finding prior to finding your partner that you were like, what were like your rules and for you at that time?
um I'm a how would you put it? It's called CPO sexual. So that means I'm attracted to women who are incredibly intelligent.
I'm a sapiosexual too, and more of a demisexual because there's a
Me
lot of
too.
assholes with bad character.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
character is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those are my
That's true.
traits exactly right there. You hit it right in the nose because what has to interest me about someone is their brain because I like someone that if I'm going to spend time with them, I like the idea of never being ceased to be amazed by them. And the interesting thing about her, as we started getting to know each other, she went to a great school, Ivy League school, graduated with honors, got in there freaking scholarship. When she was a teenager, she would study Japanese movies. She studied conversational Japanese, which I didn't know until a couple of years into the relationship. My next door neighbor, who was living there for 15 years, they were Japanese. So one day they invite us over. She's listening to everything they're saying and replying in freaking Japanese. I didn't fucking know that. Excuse my language. So that blew me away. Like,
No, you can curse
That's
on this
hot.
show. You definitely
Oh,
curse on this show,
please
but that is amazing.
don't apologize.
I love when you know what I mean, because that way, you know, first of all, none of us should be judging the book by the cover. You know what I mean? Like just because you see me, you know, you see my skin color and you see my hair doesn't mean I necessarily come from certain countries. And that has happened to me like a lot in my
right,
life. You know what I mean? Based on my locks, I automatically get the Jamaican, and I definitely you know, can floss a Jamaican accent. However,
right.
I'm not Jamaican.
Oh,
So you know what I'm saying, when I'm in a section, you know, anywhere in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, Puerto Rico, Dominicano, and you know, and you got somebody, you know, they talking shit, and they heavy thinking that you're not talking, you don't know what they saying, and it's like, baby, I was born in Panama, baby.
Right.
Hey, excuse you about to get dropped and slapped. Yes. I was born in Panama, and Spanish
Boom.
is also a language they teach at school. I actually graduated. Did you? I'm just,
Awesome. So, and
whatever.
then,
But
I'm
you know
sorry,
what I mean?
go
You
ahead.
can't judge it. So that is the best thing, to hear her talking Japanese. So you go in a
That's
restaurant,
so
you can
hot.
actually order in Japanese.
Oh, you know, she's crazy because she'll say things to them, and I'm like, you know, because I don't understand anything. I don't know what the hell's going on there, and she'll say things off the menu, and they're like so impressed with her, you know, that she's speaking Japanese, and they like her accent. And she only took 1 year out, but prior to that, she took up 7 years of French. She speaks French fluently. So that was another thing that kind of got me, because all I speak is Spanish. It's me, Spanish and English, you know, and that's it. You know, I don't know anything else. So I was
Even
always,
that is impressive.
yeah. So I was impressed with that. And then the other thing that really blew me away, and why we've been together still for 16 years, is so during her teenage years, she had no TV in her house till she was 16 years old, and it wasn't because they were destitute or anything. It's because her father was a doctor. So her father, on his downtime, would either listen to jazz music or he would just paint. And then the mom was a professional dancer. So the mom would tour and go dancing all over the world and stuff like that. So all she would do when she was home, and she was the only child, is when she had downtime, when she wasn't in school or socializing with her friends or being in one of these, you know, after school clubs or something, is read. And the only thing that was around the house was medical books. So there's certain things that she knows that still blows me away. Like recently, like about a month ago, I had this issue where I have degenerative disc disease, and it's between L4 and L5, and it just comes with age. So it's a cartilage disintegrating that supports your spine. In between the disc, you have these cushions, and there's 2 cushions in my L4 and L5 that are disintegrating. So a while now, because of that, every now and then I'll get these violent muscle spasms in my calves, and it's really super freaky and it's terrible. So about a month ago, I got one of these rare, like it's more like a nerve muscular attack out of nowhere, muscle spasm, a very violent muscle spasm, like when I got up early in the morning, and it propelled me out of the bed. So as a result, because this violent incident happened with this muscle spasm, I gave myself whiplash. So I had to go to chiropractic that straightened me out. So the funny thing is, prior to me going to the damn chiropractor, and I've been going to the same chiropractor for years, my wife, she's rubbing me and she's using the vibrating massage thing and everything. And she's like, make sure you tell him it's your left scapula. I'm like, what? So I don't know any of that. So I go to the chiropractor and he lets me, you know, I'm laying down and everything. And I'm saying, oh, Aaliyah asked me to tell you, blah. And he knows her. And, you know, that it's this, that, the everything. He freaking knew what the hell she was talking about. And I'm like, how the hell does this woman know that crap? You know, because all she would do is read these books. So she knows all about what bone is in your body, what's affecting you here and stuff. And I was like, God, you know, so I love that about her, that there's always something, you know, intriguing, and I'm always learning. The learning never stops. And I really like that about being able to, you know, because that's what you know, in order to still be passionate and, you know, and never get stale. That's what I
That's
mean.
right.
You know,
that is fantastic. Okay.
It damn sure is. It's like, oh my God, like, and then really at the same time, it's like you're kind of discovering each other. You know what I mean? Or at least you're discovering her, because
constantly,
because clearly she has skills. You know.
Yeah.
And she is discovering you as well. And so, there's so many like layers, right? To the.
So you want to hear how we met? It's
You're
very,
saying?
very old school. So back in back in 2008, let's say from 2004 to like 2008, the big thing was if you wanted to meet anybody, you had all these dating apps. You had Yahoo Personals, Match.com, this website, the other, I forget the other one that was for if you were from a religious background, Harmony or something like eHarmony. There was like eHarmony and all these dating websites. So I had a few friends of mine, male friends, that and I had a dog back then. So when we walk our dogs, they would just regale their dalliances with all these people they met on these dating websites. They would, do whatever with their profile and do this and do that. And they were like, oh man, I went out on this date. I went out. And I'm like, what? How are you meeting all these people? So I was blown away because that's not me. I type so slow. I'm typing with one finger at a time. I'm terrible at that. And one of my, when I was telling him, I can't do this, and he goes, you don't know how to copy and paste? That's what you got to do, bro. He goes, write the same story to each single person you're in. And I'm like, I can't do that. And he even came over one day.
That's a whole game. Wait a minute.
That's a good friend.
Yeah, he showed me how to copy and paste. I forgot. And I was like, man, I can't do this. So I'm very, very old fashioned in the sense where I have to meet that person. I can't meet them at a bar. I can't meet them at a club because they're on the, you don't know if they've been smoking weed, doing God knows what, drinking. So smoking is not the person that I'm going to go out to dinner with or go out to the movies or go out to whatever show with. That's a completely different individual. So it was back. I'll never forget it. It's still one of my favorite memories. June 10th, 2:30 in the afternoon of 2008 on 90th in Riverside Drive. She was coming out of Riverside Park. She just finished jogging 3 miles, and I was walking a client's dog at that time. But earlier that day, one of my clients worked for Rolling Stones. So he was in his particular department in Rolling Stone magazine. He was actually doing a guest list. Now, back in 2008, there was an issue that they came out with Rolling Stones called Greatest Guitar Gods Living. So Rolling Stone magazine rented out the Hard Rock Cafe that night. It was all VIP. They rented out the whole thing. It was going to be open bar, the whole works. If you were invited, you didn't have to take up any money out of your pocket except the ticket. But you had to be invited. It was all VIP, the whole thing. So luckily at that time, I had a client who thought highly of me and called me up at like 9:30 in the morning and was like, Max, I'm doing a guest list. It's this huge party at Rolling Stone magazine is having. You got to come. You're going to be at my table, blah, 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 blah. So, oh, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. So he put me on +1. But at the time, I wasn't dating anybody. I didn't know who. And I didn't want to bring no guy. You don't bring no guy to that because they see all these celebrities hanging out. No. And they're like, hey, let's talk to this person. Let's talk to that person. There was one time I was at a party with a friend. And what's her name? Linda, the woman that's married to Ryan Gosling. She was at the same party. I forgot her name. She's very beautiful. She was in what was that movie?
Blake?
What? No, Ryan Gosling's wife. There's the British woman. And she was in what was that Denzel Washington movie? King Kong Ain't Got Nothing on Me. Training Day.
Oh, okay.
Girlfriend or wife.
The Spanish chick?
Yeah, she was at the same party.
Okay, but the Spanish one. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
She is absolutely gorgeous, this woman. So she was at the same party. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's no way I'm going up to this woman and talking to her. That woman is so out of my league. No, I am zero. I'm like a homeless person to this woman. So my idiot friend that I invited to this party, he was like, yeah, man, I'm going to go. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. I don't remember, but no, I don't. So that's why I didn't want to bring a male friend because I know how my friend, and plus it was open bar. So my friends would have took advantage of that, drank way too much, would have made it. I got to go, who invited him and who was he with? And they point the finger at me. And then my friend would get in trouble, invited me. So I didn't want. So I was going solo no matter what. That's why I was like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna do this thing. So I just saw her, and she was standing to my left, and she was just waiting for a light to, the light to change, and so was I. So I had my client's dog, and I looked at her, and I just said, "Hi, my name is Max." Blah 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 blah. So I had about 3 minutes of her time because I walked from one corner to the next. That's it. Only took about 3 minutes that walk.
Right.
All she gave me was her name. She didn't give me her number, her first name, not her last name. Didn't tell me where she lived. And I told her, listen, I'm going to leave. I gave her my card, which had my number. I'm going to leave at X amount of time because the party said, if you're interested in going, you're more than welcome. That's it. So I had 3 minutes to introduce myself. So the time comes. I'm getting ready to leave my apartment. She doesn't call. So I'm heading down in the cab. So at that time, I do have a cell phone. So my cell phone goes off. It's her. So I'm in the cab going downtown. And the next thing you know, she's like, hey, I live in this address, blah, 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 blah. I want to go. And it just so happens I'm going in that direction where she lives. So
nice.
I'm really not far. But the funny thing is, and you guys are going to love this. So the first thing she says to me when I'm in the cab, not you, thank you for inviting me, or you look nice. She goes, my mom has your phone number and I Googled you.
Awesome.
Oh, damn.
Good.
Yeah.
She was just like, no. You're not about to kidnap me.
Smart
You're
lady.
not about to hurt me. Somebody about to find
me
you.
out,
If you
about
touch
to sell
me,
my body
don't
parts
play
on the
with
black
me,
market.
sir. I think you nice and everything, but the very second I smell something funny, sir.
Good. I love that.
Yeah, so that was very.
You done.
No one ever said that to me. And I was like, damn. So yeah, 16 years.
No, but you gotta think about it. This is New York
Beautiful.
City, and she looking at you like, nah. I'm just to let you know, I am not the one, the two, or the three. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. Okay. I think yes, as long as you know you know your limitations, I don't got to get you killed.
See, that has to that like serendipity shit. I need that to happen. It has to go smooth, So
no, but that's the thing, Rue.
And that's why I really wanted
that everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just like with him, it happened for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Because it might not go smooth. Like for me, for a fact, it didn't go smooth. It went up and down, side to side, and then we just rejoined and said, all right, cool, we like each other, it's all right, we gonna do this, you know what I mean? But it's sometimes, but again, everything that happens for a reason. That's why it happened like that, you know what I mean? He thought it out. He was like, nah, I'm not about to bring one of my dudes that's going to embarrass me in this party, hell the fuck no. And then he saw her and said, wait a minute now, you could come through to the party. And then of course she said, yes, I want to go to the party. What I'm not gonna do is let you kill me, bruh. Don't get crazy on don't get crazy on my time. Don't get crazy on my time is what she said. Shit, I like her already. I like her already.
I do, definitely. Actually, I even like her before this thing because he shared a video of her singing, and I was like, dang, okay, get it. So do you guys work on any projects together, or do you kind of keep some things separate?
The great thing about our relationship is we give each other a lot of room. I don't get too involved with her friends or her, because she has her own endeavors. She acts, she sings, she's an artist as well. So I am incredibly supportive, and I'm always willing to listen. Hey, what are you up to? What are you doing? But I don't get involved in any of that. Let her breathe and do her own thing. If she wants to introduce me to her friend, she does, but I'm not nosy about anything because there's a lot of trust between us. So while we were dating that first year, to be honest, I've been living in the same apartment for 29 years. So I'm on the rent stabilized. So to be honest, I wasn't stupid. In 95, the rent was only $850. I moved into a 1,200 square foot 3-bedroom by myself because it was $850 a month. Why not? and the rent is still cheap. It's $1,700 a month right now to live in this big ass 3-bedroom. You know, so I'm
nice.
very lucky. When me and her were both dating, I was living here alone. It was just me and the dog, you know, nobody else. So it took a year before I could trust her. And she had keys already because every weekend she was here. She was in grad school at the time when we started dating. So she had keys to come and go because I did trust her. But it was a good solid year to the day that we were dating before she moved in, before she felt comfortable enough, you know, and she was living at home, you know, like all people, you know, in their early 20s.
Right.
You know, so she was relieved to like, okay, I'm going to split the bills with you and the bills ain't going to kill me, you know, because like I said, right now, my rent is still $1,700 a month, you know, so I'm very
right.
Rent stabilized.
In New York, that's definitely a blessing. And obviously, one thing I wanted to go back to, because you mentioned that, you know, in prior relationships, you had somebody that really wasn't, you know, that, you know, first of all, you had doubts within yourself, and that you know, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when we're working on our artistry, we will, you know, doubt ourselves. You know what I mean? It's and sometimes that, you know, cuts our own, you know, throat when, you know, when it's time for, you know, certain things to flourish. You know what I mean? But I do want to go back to what you said about having somebody that, you know, didn't necessarily believe in what you know you had going on, or what you were trying to do creatively. I definitely, you know, can relate to that statement, you know, as far as like, you know, different people, you know, certain people encouraging while certain people just telling you like, why even try? Like, what are you doing? Like, isn't it a waste of time already? You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that, you know, your wife, you know, is not of that. You know, she definitely believes in what you do, and, you know, and whatever you got going on, and you know, do the same for her. So, and, you know, let talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, no, she's which is very refreshing, and I've never had this before. She's incredibly supportive of any endeavor I embark on, and she, you know, where I have doubts on my own, you know, she backs me up, and no, you're going to be able to succeed. You know, you just got to go out there and try, and if you try, you know, you fail, you're learning. It doesn't mean you're a failure, you know, because you learn from your mistakes. You know, you know, you trip, you get back up again. So I love that support. You know, that's what keeps me going in regards to doing the tour. But yeah, no, we're very supportive of each other. Like she did a music video a few years back, and, you know, because I had a lot of experience of doing the TV show, you know, budgeting and stuff like that, and I had experience with that. So when it came time to do one of her music videos, she asked me. So I literally wrote, I helped produce the whole thing. We co-produced it, me and her, we produced the whole thing, but we saved so much money doing that. And the thing is, the entire budget was accounted for. That was so amazing that she let me do that, because every single dime we put into it, we knew exactly where it went to. Where the first time she did a big video to get her stuff out there, we hired somebody else, somebody I knew. You know, he worked on a lot of different TV shows and stuff, so he had a lot of experience and stuff. But the thing that upset me the most was the budgeting, where at the end of the night there was all this leftover food. So that was meant for the cast, the extras, all this other stuff. The food wasn't exactly stuff that I would have gotten. So with that being said, there was so much damn leftover food that nobody wanted, you know, that was just unappealing. And when I asked them for the receipts and I tallied the receipts, it was almost $500 worth of water bottles, all this other stuff. So I had to give all that stuff to the crew, and the crew was very happy, you know. So literally, there was one guy who had an SUV, and he put all the water bottles in there, like 3 cases of water. Some other members of the crew, the lighting crew, took all the leftover food. So I was so upset because I was like, "What is that? $10,000 plus this, plus that? How much money did we waste?" I'm like, when she asked me to do it and we did it together, we didn't get paid. We made no money. So we put in the most work. But the thing is, at least the money that we did allocate for it, we knew where every single penny went. And it lasted. That was 2 days to do. And it was two days of 13-hour days. but there was enough money for those 2 days. And the last one, the one before that, because one of the people in the damn video, I didn't know this at the time, was union. We had to pay that union fee because he was a union actor. So she wanted I was a friend with this big celebrity at the time. He's still a big celebrity. So he did a cameo in it and stuff. So then the union got back about it. Yeah, no. So they called him up, and then he called me up. The union wants $750. First, they wanted $2,500 because they said we violated this and violated that. Then the actor had to contact the union and told them everything was cool, that we were friends and this, that, the other. So they said, well, because he stepped foot, now it makes it a union gig, and now you have to pay $750. So now this is more spending than $10,000. Now this is turning into a $12,000 endeavor. So $2,000 more dollars than the spent that we had to spend. Where the first time we got it right, everything, there was no hidden fees, no surprise. Nobody was calling us up and say, we're going to sue you, this is going to happen, you broke these rules and regulations and you didn't know. So that's what I liked about it. But no, she was happy.
And so you're a brilliant businessman. The tours, I can't wait to experience one of your tours. What sets you apart from another?
Yes, let's talk about the tours.
Joe Schmo tour in New York. How's yours different?
Well, mine combines architectural history. Just, I give background stories on certain places. Like, for example, we go to the Conservatory Gardens in Central Park. These well-manicured gardens. They had the horticulturalist that does Buckingham Palace. So he designed these 3 different. One is inspired, one's Italian inspired, and one is English inspired. So they're these well-manicured gardens. So a lot of people don't know that the Met Gala after party is actually hosted there. So they actually tent up the whole thing every year for Anna Wintour's foundation. So this is where all the big A-listers come and they party down. So first, they have cocktails because they have a bar at the Met. So they have an area where the Egyptian exhibit is, where a lot of the celebrities hang out and they can have cocktails and stuff like that. But after that, if they want to dance the night away and have some food and stuff, that's all in the Conservatory Garden. So I take them there. So I tell them about this. So a lot of people are like, oh man, I didn't know this is where the big after party is. This is where you see all those pictures on Instagram and on Entertainment Weekly and all those ET and all that stuff. That's where you see it. So people are impressed with that. Then I give them a little the Cathedral of St. Anna the Divine is a 133-year-old Gothic structure. It's the biggest cathedral in America and the 5th biggest in the world. And it's the size of 2 football fields, and it's in Manhattan. So a lot of people are aware. Everybody knows about St. Patrick's. There's been a lot of movies and stuff like that. And St. Patrick's is beautiful, but you also have to pay a pretty penny to get into St. Patrick's. I think it's like $35 to get in there. Something crazy like that. If you want to go worship, of course, that's free.
Wait. Pause. Because now you got me. Hold up. You said a door fee at a church? A door fee.
Well, a tour. There's a tour. If you want the tour, you can go in for free to worship. But if you want one of the tours, it's like $35.
Oh, okay, that's different. That's different because I was about to say a door fee.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, because I was about to say, wait a minute, a door fee? Wait a minute. Not at a church player. Wait a minute. But yes, that's because I gotta mention that definitely that because before when I first talked to you because I even said it to you the first time I met you at that comedy show that I thought that it was really just like you touring, and even though it didn't make sense, I was like, you touring the weed stores? Like, are you really touring? Like, is there other people coming here just to look at weed stores? But no, you do a real tour. You talk about New York City history, and then of course we got a lot of history, and then 9/11 made a different level of history. So even that area is just like historic, and then somehow, in between, you kind of book a outside session with everybody. I'm assuming, right? Everybody gets a smoke break you know, however they smoke, we get to park to the corner and have a little smoke break.
So what? Well, the nice thing is, before all this happened, when I started the tour and I started getting all these nice 5-star reviews, all this positive feedback from people on the tour, the idea behind the tour is I wanted to be, if Tom Ford, the fashion designer, I look up to him, so he's my inspiration, because when I was coming together and coming up with the idea, I was thinking about how would he organize a tour. So I wanted to make it classy, you know, first of all. Then I wanted to make it sexy, but have a lot of substance in regards to history, you know, and a lot of information. So I supply a lot of information where I give them a synopsis on the tour. I actually provide them with like digital synopsis. So for each place we go to, they can literally look on their phone and go, hey, and they read about that place that we go to. So not only do they get information provided to them, or, you know, when they book the tour, but also I give them a short synopsis. So they can use that as a reference guide later on when they're posting pictures on Facebook or Instagram about their vacation. Because keep in mind, we're under the influence. Now, before I started, you know, getting all this press and stuff about the tour, the nice thing was I started reaching out to this company that I like called Stores and Bickel. They're a German company. So they created the volcano vaporizer, the one with the big balloon. So I have that. I sent
right. I saw that black thing that you've taken a couple of pictures with.
Yeah, it's a big balloon. Yeah, and it looks like a little volcano, and it puts warm air into the balloon, and that's how you heat it in order to let all the tripemes and cannabinoids all to be released in the balloon. So I explained to that company, had their machine for 13 years. It's been, you know, reliable. It's never had an issue how I do this tour. And I want to share my experience about how I conduct myself, how I go out throughout the day, enjoying the city, but enjoying cannabis discreetly. I'm not a big fan of walking in some place reeking of weed. So the nice thing is the company agreed to sponsor me. So they sent me free vaporizers like this one. They sent me actually 2. They sent me this one and another one. And I had one already, and then I had the Volcano 2. So I got three portable devices, and I got the big machine. So people I can share what it's like to be me on this tour. So the thing is, they can anytime on the tour discreetly, and you're not offending anybody. And you could, you know, you could actually put real flower into this and then discreetly smoke this. And the nice thing is, people, they gave me these for the guests who are doing the tours. So what I do is I provide flower for them. So I get flower from here, there, whatever, you know, whoever has the, you know, the nicest stuff at the time or whatever's available. So the same flower that I indulge in, they get it too. So I usually have 2 types and give them 2 different choices. You can have your indica. Some people like indica, or some people prefer sativa. So I make sure I have enough for during the day and fill this thing up for them, and they can enjoy the cannabis discreetly, smoke it wherever the hell they go. But the nice thing is that when they're because keep in mind, they're tourists. They're only here for 3 days, 5 days, a week. They're gonna go see a ballet, opera. So there's a lot of times the minute they're done with the tour, they got to go grab a bite to eat. And then after that, they're going to whatever show, Beetlejuice, you name it, Hamilton, all stuff. You know, Book of Mormon, you know, they're going to go check out all those shows. So the nice thing is, I don't want them smelling that they've been on a damn weed tour all damn day. And that's just the thing. I never thought the demographic that I get on this tour, I get a lot of well-educated people. Really, I've never had any shenanigans whatsoever. No fights, no nothing. I've had some odd rules where I don't drink myself, but it said things to me like, how come you don't incorporate weed? Yeah, I mean, not weed. How come you don't incorporate liquor? You know, can't we stop at a place for beer or have a drink or something like that? And I go, that changes people's demeanor right away. And I go, with weed, you're a little bit more controlled. It's more reliable in the sense that you know what to expect when they're under the influence. When you're under the influence of alcohol, you have no idea what to expect from this individual. What kind of day they've had, what they're going through. So all that may come out And now they're taking that out on these guests who are just be on vacation and relax and chill, because the reason people go on vacation is to get away from all the nonsense wherever they left,
Exactly.
those few days. So that's why, I don't encourage that. On St. Patrick's Day, I don't do any tours on purpose because I don't want anybody going, St. Patrick's Day, justifying that, where now I got to be responsible for everybody else on the tour because I have one or two bad apples who are like overindulging because they don't know when to say when. And how am I an adult telling this other adult, hey, come on, man, blah, 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 blah. So because I don't want to deal, but the nice thing is I've never gotten any of that. I never thought about the demographic that I would appeal to or get, but it's crazy. And
have you thought about joining other markets or doing the same thing in other markets?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've thought about maybe going to Barcelona because, I'm from Spain. So very easy going out there. And they have this platform out there called Tours with Locals. So they're there where locals can give tours. And in Spain, you can give cannabis tours and stuff like that. And because I speak the damn language, and I understand and I fit right in, it's a safe place, that if I had to leave New York or I became successful and I wanted to take it elsewhere, I would absolutely take it to Spain. That would be the definitely the smart choice to do because the weather is ideal. Everything's reasonable out there. They have great food. And it's really easy to navigate. It's very easy to get around like in Manhattan. Or in Brooklyn. It's very easy to get around, in the subway.
How soon in advance does someone need to book a tour with you?
I've had people who do it last minute, do it in it, as long as they book it before 11 o'clock at night because it starts at 11 o'clock the next day. So it's like a 12-hour, so if they don't book it by 11 o'clock, they can't book it at 2, 3 in the morning because, they're high. 2, 3 in the morning, they're high. They haven't gone to bed, and they're freaking doing the tour at 11 o'clock. Oh, so they gotta know.
Right. And they can book you through what is Airbnb, correct?
Yeah, Airbnb experiences. The nice thing that I shared with you when I first met you is I get families with kids that booked a tour. And the reason why it's funny, I've had one family one time where they were farmers. They were actually cannabis farmers and they came from Northern California, the whole family. The guy came from a generation of farmers in that area. And he brought 3 of his kids, him and his wife, and they had, I forget their kids. They had a few other kids as well. I was like, wow, how long you guys been married? Like 40 years they've been together. They met in high school and all that. And I was like, oh my God. So the older kids were running the farm when they were here for a few days, and one of the daughters got accepted to one of the colleges in New York. So they were actually here on one of the the orientation college tour thing because she was going to come in the fall. So they came.
Right.
And it was wild because I've never seen teenagers indulge. I've never had that where the whole family was 420 friendly. So that I was taken back with that, but there was so much love and like affection and just. The family was so well grounded. I was like,
that's what I want to ask you because I from what I see, from what you're saying, that everybody on your tour basically indulges based on that device that I'm assuming they all so you don't have people that indulge in other ways like not just edibles but like actually crush, roll, light and puff. You got any people like that?
Yeah, I've had connoisseurs that come on the tour where they literally tell me, hey, I want to look at the bud. Like if it's ground up like this, they don't mind it. And when they indulge, they know it's good quality stuff. But I had a guy one time who says, I'd like to see the bud. He goes, I like to inspect everything. And he goes, that's just my preference. But there was no discrepancies after the tour or anything. But I've had people like that where they want to see bud or they will somehow, some way smuggle in bud. I had a client one time where they actually, I don't know how, but they bought 2 pounds with them. I have no idea how they got it. They weren't from New York or anything like that. And their objective when they were here was to get rid of those 2 pounds. They wind up getting rid of 1. and it was incredibly pricey. It was well over $4,000 for them to get rid of, and it was one of these designer strains. But the individual came with a sample with the objective to help me introduce them to somebody that would help them take this pound off of them. So I was absolutely taken back with that because, one, how did this individual even think that I even know somebody like that? One, and two, that's not the thing. I'm not somebody.
He thought you was the plug. He thought you was the plug. That's what he said.
And
He said, "Nah, I'm actually
you are the plug. There's ways to get around about
Well,
this.
Well, the why
exactly, because if you're gonna bring that type of level, you need to ask me some questions, player. You can't just run up on me with 2 pounds and how much
Don't
they
be
cost.
Griseldaing the situation.
Oh,
Shit, I be Griselda up in that bitch like a motherfucker. You know me, but we talking about Max. We talking about Max. I'm just saying. You know.
That whole thing made me feel really uncomfortable, and I was like, wow, this guy just put a mountain of pressure on me. Right. So just out of nervousness, I called somebody up and I explained to them, hey, this is the situation. They were receptive. So they were like, hey, you know, we'll meet with this individual. They met up the next day. I couldn't believe it. My friend that I contacted was incredibly pleased with what this guy had. It was like, blah, 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 blah. It's fire. It's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what, really? You know, and it was good. It was very good. I just didn't know. One, I didn't know, you know, a pound of weed is that much money. It was well over $4,000. I was like, God damn, that's a lot of money. But
it sure is in the days of legalization, especially the level of strength that he could have brought, and damn sure you're right. 4,000 sounds about right, but you know, we're not asking Griselda. We're not asking Griselda.
But no, the thing is, this guy never met from a hole in the wall, but apparently he was quite confident in his decision that I would be able to facilitate such a thing, which that was not my objective. I never foresaw that.
That was above your pay grade. That was above your pay grade. You was like, nah. I don't. Ruby will be back, but no, that was above your pay grade. So that's what happened. That's all that was. And you know what? To be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you like this. I feel like this based on, you know, based on visiting, you know, legal shops here, and also, you know, the black market. I fuck with the black market heavily, you know what I'm saying? But and the bottom line is, I know for a fact that, you know, there's ways, there's wills and there's ways, and based on legalities, you know, people are doing it, and that's how, you know, a lot, and that's how, you know, we get into the point where, you know, where even early in the year they were talking about that yes, that the legal market made you know, 150 whatever's, but the illegal market now they were, you know, they were billionaires, and you know what I'm saying, because again, the weed and the weed, and I mean, yes, there's weed being grown here, very much so. We know for a fact, because we know a grower up in the Bronx that's growing in her motherfucking apartment. So I know weed is being grown here very well.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that a lot of the weed that's hitting these New York City streets is definitely coming from the West Coast.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And so he, you know, based on you being in cannabis, he figured either you could be the plug, or you knew the plug, or you knew the plug's plug. You know what I'm saying? He took a chance. He definitely took a chance.
Oh, you know, he did. He was a very cocky individual, but luckily everything worked out well. You know, for all parties. I would never ever do that again. And there have been people who've taken the tour. Who've I had this one individual one time who literally booked a tour and then said something to me to the effect, hey, my relative does this, does that, has the best stuff, blah, 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 this, that, the other. But one, didn't bring me a sample, one. Two, had no photos of the sample. but was very insistent that I had to do business with them. And then they gave me, how would you put it, more of instructions to follow, where they were like, hey, every month we're going to do this and that and this and that, and we want you to pay us up front. And I was like, what? You know,
Okay, so what kind of bully business you trying to bring to a New York City Yorkian? To a New Yorkian, you trying to bring bully business? Wait a minute, that's not how that shit go in these streets.
Yeah.
No, the things ain't never set like that, bro. They ain't nobody ever set like that. I don't know who you talking to, but that's not how that shit go. That's definitely not how that shit go. But you know what? Again, that goes back to judging, you know, the cover, because not for nothing. Even before you said it, that you said you look like Jimmy Fallon, I really was like, wait a minute, that like you that ass, you know, you
totally
got Jimmy Fallon.
Shut up.
You Jimmy Fallon in your face for real, and then because you involved in cannabis, it's like, you know, and hello, this is also New York City. There's thugs everywhere, and then, you know, thugs come from other places and think that, yeah, I can just like look at. First of all, look here, man. I'm gonna send you £3. You gonna pay me for £3, and that's what the fuck we gonna do. I'm the new supply. That's what he trying to do, and you looking at him like, player, I don't even have to talk to you. Seriously? I will call the police. What?
Well, no. But the funny thing is when this person was talking to me very how would you put it?
Aggressively.
Yes, assertively. Yes, assertively speaking to me. Their partner interrupted and go, I told you he wouldn't agree to this. We had this discussion before we even got on the plane. So her objective, well, as a woman, her objective was, when they booked it, was I can make money doing this, doing that. When the husband defended my decision on not being receptive whatsoever and agreed with me, explained to her, you know, that, hey, you know, I told you this wasn't going to work, you know, before we even got. So I was happy that he knew, you know, but I was like, I didn't deserve any of that. I was like, why are you talking to me like this? You know, where did this come from? You know, because this person read the reviews and somehow was like, oh, this guy's he has nefarious intentions. He's sneaky.
Indeed, that's what I said about, you know, reading you judging the book and you thinking that this is like again, you're doing this as giving, you know, a actual regular New York City tour, but you're giving, you know, the cannabis spin on it. And because cannabis is now becoming a fucking $1 billion industry, why the fuck not should you get some money out of it too? And you're doing something genuine, and like you said, for the people that prefer, you know, that prefer, you know, being discreet when it comes to smoking, but you still, you know, as long as people are, you know, cool and respectable, you willing to give them a real New York City tour with a bit of twist, and yes, you making money out of the cannabis industry, so therefore it shouldn't be no you running up on me trying to bully me into something. But of course, like I said, people, you know, people judge, people, you know, people might see, and then they might, you know, run up on you and think that you run up onable, and you got to let them know, like, bro, you just crossed the line. You just made the devil trick you into something that your ass can't cash. I don't know, bro. Back up off me now. Back up off me, because this is a legitimate family-owned business here. Hello.
Right. Speaking of cash, though, how much is a tour for an individual? And also, what if somebody wanted to buy the vaporizer? How much would that cost?
Well, the nice thing is, the company, they give me my own code. So what I do is I share that code. So there are people when they book the tour, because the company already supplies me with free vaporizers, and that's what the people use. There's no pre-rolls or anything like that. It's just straight flower, because that's what people want to see. They don't like the and this is just me and my day-to-day trial and error and feedback that I get from people around the world. There are people who do enjoy pre-rolls, but they, especially Europeans and people from Asia, they want it with the filter and all that. They don't like it. I had a guy from Germany one time who said, wow, I like the pre-rolls here because you have the filters. He goes, I hate blunts. He goes, guys in America are ridiculous with the blunts. He goes, there's no filter. He goes, we hate that back in Europe. But I understood that. But people from Europe, they're familiar with this, so they like the convenience of it. And you said, okay, can you repeat that one question again?
Yeah,
No.
sure. How much is it for the contraption or the
yeah. So pardon me about that. But yeah, it all depends on the code, because if they have a sale right now, they give me a code. So that takes a certain percentage off. And then if they have it on sale, you get more of a percentage off. So I get a percentage every sale, which is nice because I have my own personal code. So I had people who've literally bought it. I had one guy and his wife buy it on the spot. Like, we got out of Little Spain and we just had complimentary chuchos and they had some coffee and we were getting ready to go on the High Line. So I put more flour in it and I lit it up right outside, and there's vaping and everything. And the minute we got up there, the wife was like, I love this thing. And she pulled out her phone and she was like this and everything. And that was it, you know. So I've had a few people, so far 3 people who've bought these devices as a result of the tour. So, which is cool. But that's $70 for per person, and that's the public. But then I've had people who do private tours, and that's $75 per person if they do a private. And mostly when I do get private tours, but it's odd. But when I do, it's wild because I'll get like famous people from abroad. I had this one very famous Korean actress one time. She came with a bodyguard and everything. She only did it for like 3 hours. You know, she was happy with what she saw. They tipped me incredible. Damn, it's only 3 hours. But photos with her. And when I asked her, she was dressed incredible. Like, everything about her said money, 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 from the wristwatch to the handbag to the clothing, damn glasses. I was like, yo, this woman's got ridiculous money. And when I looked at the guy who was with her, who was not her boyfriend or anything, and the way he acted out, and I knew that from working in entertainment, this guy's a professional bodyguard. So at one point, I asked him, well, how long have you been a bodyguard? And he was like, oh, you know, and then he was all surprised that I knew. I'm like, come on, man. You know, so I'm always surprised at that. She was not 420 friendly, but people like that will pay the $75. And then I think, I don't know if I told you, or did I say it in the beginning, I had this one family from abroad that booked a tour, and it was 4 kids, and it was the parents, and it was kids and one of the daughter's boyfriends, and the kids were all in their 20s. The parents didn't indulge, but because the reviews were so good and so positive, they trusted. And the father told me, the father literally pulled me aside, and he goes, the reason we booked this tour is because what all the other families have said about you. He goes, that's why we're letting our kids enjoy cannabis with you. He goes, because to be honest, he goes, the first thing that comes to mind, the father literally told me straight up, is it laced? Did he do it with something? Is it actually weed or something like that? I'm like, damn. But I understand he's a father. Sure. You know, so the 3 of his children, 2 of his daughters, 1 of his sons, and then 1 of the daughters that his boyfriend. But the parents didn't indulge at all. But at the end of it, the mother gave me such a warm compliment, wonderful tip, gave me a hug and everything, and then thank you. This is exactly what we expected and what we were looking for. And I was so happy. I was so nervous.
Nice.
So my blood pressure was like this. You know, I was like, God damn, if I hook up to a machine now, that thing's like 150, 160, you know? I'm like, what are these parents are not indulgent, but then I'm bonding with the kids, and they're in their 20s. You know, I'm mad old, so I'm thinking I'm bonding with these kids. I don't know how the parents, I'm closer to the parents' age, but these kids are laughing and we're getting along and we're talking about all these different things. One of the sons, he was in Canada for the winter, and he was working for some kind of ski resort, and we were talking about bears and like wolverines, like crazy creatures, like he's National Geographic. You ever see that? I mean him getting high, you know, we're doing one of these. I mean him passing it back and forth. But I use, just so you guys know, I use alcohol swabs. So after I share it with somebody, alcohol swab to wipe it down.
Nice.
So we're talking about this. So I'm wondering, how do the parents perceive me bonding with their young 20-something-year-old kids? You know, so I'm nervous about the perception, because I'm wondering, do they feel, do I have, are they thinking what's going through their mind that he's lascivious? Does he have nefarious intentions? No, and luckily, no one ever that never happens. You know,
and that's the thing. But you definitely have come with, you like you said, you got good reviews, you come with credentials, you know what I mean, and anybody that runs their life based on vibes, you know what I'm saying, you can, what I mean, you can feel that, what I'm saying, the vibe is of a good person, you know what I mean, and it's shit. And if you come into New York, I mean, it's best to, it would make sense, you coming on a 420 tour, it makes sense that the person that runs the tour buys the weed, so that you're not just running up in any one of these places. Because I mean, yes, we got the legal spots here and there, but the legal spots, they're a little bit expensive. So who knows, if you might be on a budget, so you run up in one of these spots and you don't know if that's one of the good spots or the bad spots or the indifferent spots, because we all know they all out here and they popping out every minute. So you know what I mean. So it's a good thing that you definitely give real New York history. You know me, but it's a walk-in tour. So basically, where do you where exactly do you choose do you choose where we walk in, or do they ask you to take them to specific places?
Well, the normal day-to-day tour, we start off at Absolute Bagel on the Upper West Side. And then from there, we go to Tom's Restaurant, the Seinfeld Diner. And then from there, we go to Cathedral St. John of the Divine. And then from there, we head over to Conservatory Gardens in Central Park. And then from there, we hop on the subway and then head over to Hudson Yards, where we check out the vessel. And then, like I said earlier in the conversation, I'm a Spaniard. So I take them a Little Spain. So I have a deal with the people of Little Spain. So the guests get complimentary chuchos. And then they buy their own chuchos, come out of my pocket, but then they get they get coffee with it. So for like a good 20 minutes, chill out there, they can warm up, depending on the weather, or just relax though, because they're not accustomed to walking. Unless you're from Europe, like places like Berlin, France, Italy, Spain, even Greece, those places, you're walking all over the damn place. You're walking everywhere. Turkey, you're walking everywhere because you're seeing this. So those, especially people from like the UK, like England and Scotland, they can keep up with me. Those people walk fast as hell, which is that tour in 3.5 hours. But then, so which is nice. But people from like the US and stuff, it takes them a little bit longer, and they're not accustomed to walking so much. So the break is necessary for them. So we'll sit on a park bench where they'll indulge this. They can indulge as many times as they want because they're not being as blatant about it out in public. They're not lighting up a lighter or anything like that. So they're not blowing it around like baby carriages are scrolling back and forth and stuff in the middle of the day. They're being discreet. So I'll have guests on the tour that will indulge like a good 4 or 5 times. And the tour is only 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours, depending on how fast they can walk.
I can't wait to take a date there. That looks like a good date.
Yeah. I mean,
a good date to
yeah, but when I do families, like when the woman with the parents and the 3 kids and the boyfriend, the mom told me at the end of the tour, my kids would not be interested in the tour if it wasn't for the 420 appeal. And she said she felt comfortable enough in her decision, that her kids were safe and sound. And that was like the biggest compliment. This woman was priceless. Her, big hug. When she pulled me aside, her husband gave me a real solid handshake and told me thank you, that they had a very positive and he was skeptical. He was skeptical from the beginning. When he pulled me aside, I was like, oh my God, now I'm getting a father, like I'm dating one of the daughters. And he's like, hey, you my daughter. That's what it felt. He was the overprotective dad, which with good reason. He doesn't know who the hell I am, But no, I like that when they say that.
That's cool. That's definitely good. You know what I mean? But and you definitely give off that you're absolutely a fan of the discreet smoking. You're definitely a fan of discreet smoking. But it's kind of crazy for me to like, you know, totally accept that, because you were just at this at the fucking honeysuckle drop party where there was pounds and pounds and pounds. I mean, literally, that was the main reason why me and husband left, is because, first of all, between me and him, I'm the chimney. He smokes, but I'm the chimney. So I can be in a room with you know, smoking here, smoking there, it's just everywhere, and I'm good. I'm just like, yes. I'm smoking along with you, and I'm fine. And it's just cloudy because of THC all over, and everybody in the world, and everybody that's within that section is fucking high as fuck. But my husband couldn't take it anymore. It was like he went outside, and then he came back inside, and then he was like, "Listen, we gotta get out of here because I'm about to die. I'm gonna die in here. Okay, I'm gonna die. Do you want me to die? I'm gonna die in here. Okay, I'm gonna die." So I was looking at him like,
we're like Snoop and Wiz Khalifa.
Like, just get a drink. Just get a drink, have a seat, relax. He was like, "No, I'm gonna die in here, okay? Because it's so much smoke." And I remember you said to me, like, because I asked you about coat check, and you were like, "Yeah, well, my coat is in the back, and I'm just glad it's not gonna smell like a whole bunch of weed." And I was like, "Yeah, it's everywhere." And you was like, "Yeah, I hate that." And I kind of looked at you like, "But bruh, do you see where you at? Like,
and you want to hear
all this smoke here, all the smoke between me, like Ruby, me and him was standing next to each other like this, because of course the loud. It's a little ass place, and we were standing this close, and between my face and his face was just clouds. Clouds like this everywhere. So I'm just like, how do you even tolerate that type of smoking, knowing damn well that you like the one, you kind of like the person that go, nobody knows smoking.
Well, the
nobody knows smoking. How do you do it?
When I go to these events, I always go sober. Straight up sober. I don't get high before I go to any of them, because I look at it as I'm there to network and talk to people. So I go straight up sober, because I know I'm going to get contact high whether I like it or not. You know?
Okay. Ruby, I'm trying to tell you, it was a small ass room, like my bedroom here. Like small ass. Picture this small ass bedroom. And it's just clouds like this. Just
yeah. Oh no.
Because everybody was smoking.
Yeah, after about 90 minutes.
Trust me, I was chilling. I was really good. But of course, I don't want my husband to die. I love him. I can't watch him die. I can't watch him die. You know what I'm saying? I love him. I can't watch him die. So I say,
we know you do, girl. That's a faithful ass woman right there. Max, I have a question for you with regards to keeping things fresh. So one of my things is polysexual, polyamorous relationships, right? How do you and your wife keep things so fiery that that's the only thing you want to fuck?
One, because she's so out of my league. I know that. And and the other thing is
shit. Honesty in the building.
I love Max so much. He's a G.
So I know that. And the thing is, I feel when women look at me, I'm a dinosaur. So that's just me and my own insecurities, you know, that I'm just so old that nobody.
Max, you know you could pull pussy. Stop.
No. I have that confidence. I am lucky enough, and I am always surprised that the first person I wake up to and you know, the last person I see every night is her face. I am blessed with that. And
that is love. See, I like that.
For
That's
She's
love. Whether she
and
in the house and she can hear that or not, that's love.
oh no, she's in her social media room. In the we have a 3 bedroom, so the smallest bedroom
Oh,
is a social media room. So in there, she has like all her
oh,
equipment, her halo light, all that stuff. Yeah,
Right.
she does podcast interviews. She does her art. She designs sneakers. So that's all her creative space where she could go 2 hours and just get away. You know.
Max,
So no,
can you tell her to come on our show too, please? She sounds so dope.
I'm
We
saying
love
I want to
her.
talk to
I
her
would have
too.
to.
Like, I'm
Okay.
saying, like,
Yeah, I would have to get up because, like I said, I live in a big apartment, so I would be off screen
no,
for
no,
like
no,
30.
no, no. I don't mean now. No, Max. No, Max. No. Let's
Another
relax a
dedicated
little bit now,
episode.
because we already been an hour and a half, and the fact is, Ruby got to get back to her baby, and my husband just walked in, so we not talking about right now. We talking about, what I'm saying. Let's, tell her, to pitch her, pitch us.
All right,
This is the show that she needs to be on.
please.
And
And then I
what I'm
just
saying,
have
tell
one
her,
more
holler at us.
question.
We'll put her on the schedule right away.
I just
And
have one more
what I'm saying? That's what we talking
question.
about. We're not talking about right now.
Yeah.
Before you guys get too tired of me, I just have one more question because I'm asking all the kings this right now and this season. If you like your butt licked, is that considered gay? Or
girl, I swear to God, I wish.
Well,
I need you to stop with mouths and people's asses. I swear to God, I need you to stop it.
yeah. No, that's yeah, no, that's never been my thing. And no one has ever no one's ever offered to do anything like that with me. Yeah, so that's yeah, that's different.
You know what, Max? I'm sorry.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Oh no.
What?
Sorry about
No, it's you, because I give this little PR, statement every time, Ruby, goes a little bit too far. No, wait. The PR statement is as of this. So Ruby sometimes, she's in charge of the sex, out of the motherhood and sex and marijuana, she's in charge of the sex section. So sometimes, if you watch the episode of 3 or 5, you see that, sometimes, she go there. You know what I'm saying?
no.
And I'm the responsible that kind of girl, come on back to the
The
come on
worst
back
you can
over
tell
here.
me is mind my business and my life will move on. Yours will too.
I mean, from 98 to 2000, I actually dated a dominatrix. I didn't know. She kept it for a secret for about 6 months from me that she was a dominatrix.
Nice.
Yeah, she was bisexual. She liked me, but she also liked women. And at the time, from 1998 to 2000, she always had a girlfriend. And the wild thing is, because I'm so particular, I wasn't always into whoever she was dating. They just were, they weren't my type, or I had such a good rapport with them because they were dating her. And that was the thing, when she would go out and date women and they would do their things and go clubbing and stuff like that, she would let me know. She let me know up front, this is who I am, accept me for who I am. And I was fine with it. It was cool.
Right.
There were times where some of the women she was dating were absolutely into me, which was wild because I was like, why out of all people? So that was nice. But not everybody I was receptive to. So in regards to her asking a question, it's not inappropriate whatsoever, because when she would come home from work and she would tell me I had to do this with this client, and I was like, what? Like crazy stuff. And the outfit she had to wear to work. Like there were times where I would have to be at her apartment because we didn't live together at the time, and she would get dressed up in all these very latex, very like wow outfits. You looked at them and I was like, holy, how can you wear that? But she would have wear like a trench coat always, so she had to have boots on and stuff and go to this person's house. But I couldn't even believe the money they would pay her, and she was into, she would tell me, no, I'm not kidding. There was one time. There was this guy
you don't gotta tell me. I already know. I'm just saying. I'm just agreeing.
Oh, they get paid for sure.
One time There was one time she came home one time and she's like, yeah, I just made $600 from peeing on some guy. I'm like, what? Who the hell? But she was beautiful. She looked like a young Selma Hayek. Like back in when Desperado, she looked. I had a crush on Selma Hayek when she did Desperado. She looked like Selma Hayek's identical twin.
I would let her pee on me.
Yeah, no. So I understand.
Girl, no.
But literally, there was no.
I'm into it, kinda.
600 this individual.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah. So what you asked me was not ordinary because I was just like, okay,
nice.
But there was no sex involved or anything, and I got to meet the guy. It was creepy. It was really creepy, meeting him and stuff. And he was a professional. He was very successful. It was just one of those things. She felt comfortable one day, me meeting him. I felt weird. I was like, so this is the guy that my girlfriend at the time.
Right.
It's
You're
beautiful.
looking at him like
it's the psychology is just it astounds me.
Because I'm like,
yeah.
And
but y'all,
we need a whole another special.
This has been a great motherfucking show.
Well, thank you.
Definitely.
I've been looking forward to this, so I hope I was a good guest.
Max, you're the fucking shit. What you talking about, man? You're the shit. And we need to have more. I can't wait to do that tour.
Yeah, well, please.
And the fact is, again, it's a great product. It's a great idea, and the fact that you thought of it and making profit of it is a great thing. So we absolutely encourage that, and don't feel like you're not. You're definitely in the same class of all our guests. So don't even come off like that. You know what I mean? You definitely had a great time, and of course, if you have other things going on, anything going on in the future, you definitely got to come back. And like I said, talk to the wife, tell her, this is the place to be. We are the people to talk to.
Okay.
And,
I might flirt with her a little bit, but don't get jealous or anything. I won't.
Okay, see, now that's not what she's gonna do. She's gonna take it a little bit.
But no,
take it down. She ain't gonna take it that far.
No, but the wild thing is, she looks like Trinity from The Matrix, exactly like Trinity. So whenever Carrie Moss from The Matrix 1, 2, and 3, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend.
Look, clouds be clouding. I can't remember too much about The Matrix, but I did see that.
Once you Google it, you'll be like,
basically. And plus, I've seen your Instagram. It's not like I don't know what she looked like. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I never put photos of me and her on Instagram. She does her thing. I do my thing. It's not.
Oh, I thought that was your wife, the one that I saw you on Instagram. My bad. Oh, see, there I go.
Oh, you got a hot thing.
No, we just never do. That's just our thing. But no, the funny thing is, she was here right now. She will tell you, whenever we go out, like we go see a DJ or something like that to a show, women absolutely don't give two craps about me. They will come up to her and start flirting with her. There was one time we were in a bar. Oh, I am not kidding. And some girl just came up to her and started making out with her. Literally, right up to the back.
What, girl? No, what are you doing?
Max, I love the way you think.
No,
I'm standing right here.
No. I went back. I came back, and some girl's making out with her, and she just looks at me and laughs, and I'm just like, okay. It didn't faze me. But the funny thing is, the girl who grabbed her and made out with her, she was quite attractive herself, too. But she looked at me with all the confidence in the world, and she goes, "She's mine."
Okay.
See, now you're going too far. See, there. See,
Max isn't worried.
Line. No, now you crossing the disrespect line. But okay.
Yeah, I didn't look at it that way. I didn't feel that way. We're still together. Everything's fine.
I get it. Different strokes, different folks. It couldn't be me. I'm just saying. It couldn't be me. I'm just saying. It couldn't be me. Just best girl. Who you doing? What you doing?
As long as she's slobbing down that knob, Max ain't tripping.
You trying to get her.
My thing is compliment to me that women are attracted to her, and it's a compliment to her because as she gets older, as all women get older, you know, their confidence is like, do I still have it, that sort of thing. And that assures me that, God forbid, if I was stupid, you know, and left her for who, God knows who, you know, oh, this woman be able to pick up the paces the next day. She would not miss a step because there'd be a million suitors lined up behind me to step in and replace.
And clearly, you're not trying to hear that, so you're gonna be ready to stop all. You ready to stop all that traffic? Like, I'm here. Check out. I'm here. Back up
with
off me.
my avocado
I'm not going
chocolate
nowhere.
chip
Back up off
cake.
me.
Yeah.
Back up off me. See, I ain't going nowhere, so don't be trying that. But yes, let's go because I definitely definitely got other things to get to. So yes, we definitely had a great time. You know what I mean? And as soon as we drop this on YouTube, we'll definitely send you the link. Of course, you know, season 7 Legendary Trends will drop on YouTube on March 17th. This episode is the 6th episode, so you could count 6 Sundays after March 17th, and you'll know exactly when. Matter of fact, I think I sent it in the link. Maybe I didn't because the clouds be clouding. But either way, like I said, 6 Sundays after March 17th, that's when your episode will drop. I'll make sure and send you the link. And of course, anything happening going forward, let us know. And shit. And we look forward to talking to Wifey, of course. You know what I mean?
Hold on, she's gonna make a quick cameo. There she is.
Yay! What's up, gorgeous?
Well, hello.
What's up, queen?
She like, move, I'm trying to talk. What's up?
We're just telling Max that he needs to put in a good word for us so we can get you on our platform so you can put us up on some game.
Okay, excellent. Well, hey, good to meet you.
Good to meet you, queen.
Absolutely. That's Ruby Doll. I'm Kai Storm. This is Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana. We just had a great podcast episode with your husband, and we definitely heard all about you. So of course, you know, when you're ready, we're currently taping season 7 right now. Definitely hit us up. Your husband has our contact information so that you can be a guest and talk about everything that's going on in your life.
And how brilliant you are, because we love brilliant people, especially when they're let's just say, especially when they can pick up Japanese. Like, that's really hot. You know what I mean? That's the hottest thing I've ever heard.
You tell you.
Pick up Japanese and know people's back to help the doctor. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you're not about to operate on the wrong part on my husband because I know the right part. I read that book. Who you talking to? I know it's the right part. It's not. That's the wrong part. I'm gonna sue you. Yeah, I like that. So we got to talk all about that. So whenever you're ready, you just hit us up and you can be on this show, definitely. But we're gonna end this show right now because Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana in the motherfucking building.
Motherfucking building with Max and Aaliyah, right?
And his beautiful wife.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
You guys rock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.